First off, we're gonna start with the S tiers. Okay, we're gonna start with the S tiers. So number one S tier right now. Hold on, I gotta like scroll up. We're gonna put Killshot at S tier. Killshot is he like Diamond 4. He's high elo. Every time we play in like 5v5s, he's very consistent. He is like a very what's the word? I'd say he's like very impactful when it comes to like our games. You feel me? Hold on, let me turn on. Let me open up the blind real quick. I'd say 100%. He's like very impactful when it comes to his gameplay. You know, every time we play a game, he's always just like really making sure that like he can carry the team. Makes very good plays. His game IQ is fucking out of this world. He's constantly playing in higher elo, so like that's obviously like a reason why. So S tier, 100%. All right, next, where's that nigga Joni at? This guy right here, bro. Jordan. This is Jordan's brother, Nick. Nick is fucking insane. Like just straight up, just fucking insane. Bro can fucking 1v5 as a fucking Vayne if you wanted to. He's like fucking Masters or a Challenger. I don't remember which one. I always get the two mixed up. But Nick is crazy at the game. I think Nick is like probably the best in the Discord. I'd put him over Killshot. I'll put Nick over Killshot 100%. I think that's the only two S tiers in the Discord, to be completely honest. Who else do we got? We got Jackson. We got David. We got Ganja. We got Gee. Honestly, yeah, I think that's all for S tiers because there's no one that really makes like that much of a impact like they do. Okay, next. We have we're gonna go to this little A plus. Do I have any A pluses? Nah, I don't have any A pluses. I'm gonna put yes. Let's take this little A plus off. We're gonna delete A plus because there's no A pluses. Where's Memo at? Next, we got Memo. Memo, as a jungler, is probably I think he's probably the most solid jungler in the Discord. To be completely honest, Memo is always like very game changing whenever he plays. He comes in with like a mindset of like, oh, like silver to challenger, it's all the same. Like bro's like he's really him when it comes to his nocturne jungle. I think he's really good. A plus. I'd put him at A plus if I could, but I'd delete the row. A plus jungler, 100%. Next, up in the A's, we got Ong. I'm gonna do it in like the order of like who I think is like best to worst. And no offense to anybody, it's all love. This is just genuine observations that I've made from us playing. All right, Ong. Ong definitely I would say is probably the fourth best in the Discord, just because Ong is very consistent with his gameplay. Um, he just hit plat recently again, so that's also one of the reasons. I think plat is a pretty good rank to be at. I think it's really good for a lot of people. Just not me yet. I'm gonna be diamond soon. But Ong is an A plus player, bro. He's extremely good at fucking his little mid lanes. Ong is always like very consistent with his gameplay. It's always very like he's always able to turn the tide of a game. Like if it's like down under, he's able to like put the game on his back and carry a game if he needs to. You know, I feel like in some cases he needs to fix his mentals, with different team comps. I think that's just like a high elo thing, but the reason why I'd put Memo over him, which he'll probably be a little bit upset about, is because of Memo's mentality. Like he really doesn't care like if he like is in the game, he thinks he's winning because he's in the game. And that's the type of mentality that you got to be like, borderline S tier. I think Memo is borderline S tier, but I just haven't seen him like produce results like Nick and Killshot. So that's the reason why he's not S. But that's also the same reason why Ong isn't S. Um, I feel like his mentals weigh down his ability as a player. So, but like I said, just an honest observation. Next, we got HC. HC, my boy. Love this guy. HC, 100%. I think he could, like, very much. My, bro, why was it? What happened to my order? 1 second, chat. 1 second. I'll be back. All right. Move. Hello. I see you guys. All right. So there's our meat right there. 5 stars. Skip. 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 Okay. Order rescheduled. All right. Whatever. All right. Anyways, back to Ongusi. Oh no, HC. So yeah, HC is a very well-rounded player. I feel like he can play really. I haven't really seen him play ADC too much. Check. Check what? To see where it is. The food? Mm. It says it's being rescheduled. It was like on the way, then I don't know where the guy went. So they said that they're gonna resend it or something? Yeah. Orders confirmed 6:52. How much what seasonings do we need for the ribs? Because we could like just throw that bitch in right now if we wanted to like start seasoning and stuff. I won't be here till 6. Yeah. Or till 7. It's 6:52. Process is gonna take a minute for like everything. That's why I was expecting it to be here at 4, but since they're playing freaking games, I don't know if we'll be able to do the greens, but or everything will just be very very late for dinner. Yeah. It is what it is, I guess. Yeah. Still gonna eat it nonetheless. Anyway, HC is a very well-rounded player. Let me turn on some music. Some music. Follow my boy Frankie Castle. Frankie, bruh, babe. I gotta tell you after, but you know Frank, right? I always tell you about Frank, babe. I'll tell you after this. I'll tell you after this. But he went through some crazy shit, bro. Sound some lofi. All right. Anyways, HC. So HC is a very well-rounded player. I feel like every like role that he plays, he'll bring some type of like weight to that type of lane. whether it's like jungle. His jungle as certain characters is like really good. I'd say like his Yi is like almost S tier, to be honest. His Yi anywhere, top lane, whatever, is S tier. His Jin Zhao is like S tier, I would say. HC is a very well-rounded player. You know, no really bad things to say about HC, or not bad things, but like negative observations. Only thing I could say is that I feel like he could probably climb even higher if he had like better mentals, you know. But everybody like goes about their games in different ways, you know. Like he has to like play a game and take like an hour break, and that's him, you know. Like, everybody has their thing. So I definitely put him at A tier. But yeah, I think he's 100% like probably fifth best. He could be interchangeable with Ong, or maybe even Memo. I have Memo up here in top 3 just because of his mindset, though. Personally, I feel like if you don't have that like dog in you, you know, like it changes things a lot. All right, next up, my boy Jordan. So, would I put Jordan at an A minus? Right. I put Jordan at an A minus. No, I'm not gonna say that actually. I will put Jordan at a solid A. Jordan is a very good player. He's very well rounded. His top lane is crazy. His mid lane is stupid, and then his bot lane is like fucking extraterrestrial. This man is not human. His bot lane is very good. Only reason why I wouldn't put him at S, and the only reason why I'm not also putting him at A minus, his mentality is really good. Like his mentals in the game are like extremely good. If you're ever on his team, like, you know what we're talking about. His comms are really good. He's a very good coach. He knows what he's talking about. His game IQ is very well rounded. All that shit. He said my mental is dog shit. That's why you're A and not S. I wouldn't say your mentals are dog shit. I would say, like, you know, everybody has their things for, like, you know, you play a game and you take an hour break. You know, that's why. Well, I would say that's why anything, but, you know, like, you run it down. You do run it down sometimes. But I'd still consider you like A tier. 100% you're A tier. But yeah, Jordan is very well rounded of a player. You know, I feel like he's always holding his weight whenever it comes to a game, and he can always like shift the tide as well to a game if he needs to. I feel like he can like carry and put a game on his back. It's harder as ADC because ADCs are squishy and they're so easily like targeted. So it's easy to like pick him out from like the back line if you don't have like a good team to support him. But Jordan holds a lot of weight in the games that we play, so I think Jordan is a very solid player. He's an A for sure. All right, we got Z. Now, I've never seen this guy play like competitive. I don't think I've ever played with him in a 5v5, but from like playing flex with him, like against like gold players, like his Zoe is actually crazy. His Zoe's like, I've only ever seen him play Zoe as well. That's like his main, but his fucking Zoe is just stupid. Like, that's all there is to say, really. Like, his Zoe's just dumb. He's a hater on One Piece, so that's why he's an A minus. You know, it is what it is. I'm sorry, man. Sorry, not sorry. All right, next on the list, we got Joel. Where's Joel's?
What the fuck are you doing?
I'm making a tier list.
What?
I'm making a tier list of all the people in the Discord.
What?
Yeah. We're actually on you right now, Joel. Joel's a B plus character, is a B plus player. You know, I haven't seen Joel in his prime because right now his internet is really shitty. So we don't know. You know, sky's the limit for Joel's potential as a league player. You know, from what I've heard, his top lane is actually crazy when he's trying. He's very knowledgeable about the game. His game IQ is like extraordinary, I'd say. Joel is very insightful. He's also a very good coach from watching from the back lines, and he makes pretty good bases and rest. We don't play 5v5s, so I don't know how well he like does against other people. But I would say that Joel is definitely like a top tier player inside the Discord. He's like what? Definitely top 10 inside the Discord. There's not really that many people in our Discord who play League like that, but definitely top 10 nonetheless. I could even interchange Joel probably with Z and put him at A minus, you know. Because I also haven't seen Z play too much. I also haven't seen Joel play too much. So, you know, depending on if I see them play more or less, you know, their positions could go up higher. But from what I know, Joel is very solid, you know, as a player. Who's next?
Top lane, bro. I'm a mid lane.
Paul said that your top lane was pretty crazy against him, like when you like actually try. He said he's played against you before.
Yeah. Nobody new has seen my main champions.
Yeah, I haven't seen him ever because we don't. I mean, we play, but we don't play like often, you know.
Also, don't play any of my main champions.
Exactly. All right, I'm gonna put this nigga Jackson. I don't even know if this is his Discord picture or not. That's
Elijah.
This is Elijah.
Or not Elijah.
Who is Jackson?
Jackson's a little blue dot. He's a blue. He's literally just, or he's pink now.
Is his name Stream?
Yep.
Oh. Well, this is Jackson for today. Tatsu is A, soloed on 3 times back to back. See, now that's where this tier list is gonna get dicey depending on where I put myself. Cause, you know, if I want to be nice, well, we'll get there when we get there. I'm gonna save the best for last. I'm gonna save the best for last. We'll get there when we get there. So, Jackson, from what I've seen, that guy is crazy, bro. He won like fucking like 16 games straight playing with David as like bot lane, and he went from like bronze 1 to silver 1 in like a day, bro. Like he's actually pretty crazy. In all the games he was dropping like 20 plus. He was always going positive as like Jinx. I think he played Jinx all the way up to like basically gold. So bro is very consistent with his gameplay. Obviously, I'd put Jackson definitely at a B plus. I haven't seen him play too much like in a game together, so I wouldn't really know, but B plus nonetheless. I didn't put Guy on. I forgot to put Guy on my list last night because I forgot, but Guy is definitely gonna be B plus as well. As a support, his thresh is actually stupid. Not HC. Guy is actually dumb with thresh. He's very good with thresh. As an ADC, he's really good too. His jungling as Kha'Zix is very solid. Guy is just an all-around solid player. You know, nothing that I'd put him like on. I wouldn't say that he'd be on the same level as like some of these guys, but I think I could definitely interchange him with like Joel and Jackson, just because I've played with Guy more, so I've seen a little bit more of how good Guy is, you know. But B plus nonetheless, you know. No B plus is better than another B plus. All right, Adachi, B plus as well. As a support, she's crazy. She's very good. Crazy? I used to be crazy once. They locked me in a room, a rubber room, full of rats. Rats make me crazy. Did you say crazy? I used to be crazy. Anyways, yeah, Adachi is a very solid support. Every time she supports like Lily, from what I've seen, she knows how to manage her lane, even if her like ADC isn't really all like the greatest. She knows how to like keep the mentals up inside the bot lane as well. You know, I think she does a great job as like just any position. She's played a Mumu jungle from what I've seen. It's very solid. Her Mumu anywhere is just very solid. So I put her definitely B plus. I think she's a very well-rounded player. We got David. I'm gonna put David at a B. I haven't really seen David play too much. He has very good knowledge on the game, especially on Yi. He's the reason why I'm pretty like decent with Yi. he's a very good coach as well. You know, from like sitting back. I haven't seen him. Like I said, like there's a lot of people on this list who don't really play in the 5v5s, so I can't really like judge their skill too much because he also doesn't play competitive anymore either. But in the same like sentence, you know, he did grind with, this isn't Jackson, but it's Jackson for today. But he did grind with Jackson, and he was also in that 16 game win streak with Jackson. So he could also be interchangeable with B plus or B, but I really haven't seen the competitive side of David, so I need to see that first before I can put him at a B plus. All right, we're getting down to the B's, and this is where like the nitty gritty starts happening. This is where people start getting their feelings hurt, and I want to make a disclaimer that it is all love from these, but this is just a genuine observation from the outside coming in. You know, so next I'd put Paul at B. So actually I'll put him over David. I'll put him over David because I've seen Paul play a lot actually. Now my reasoning behind Paul being B and not B plus is simply because of the characters that he plays. This is no hate to the characters that he plays. I'm just saying, like, I feel like when it comes to characters like Alawi and Aesol, who he mains, you can't really like find a lot of skill in Alawi and Aesol just because of like the kit that comes with them. Like Alawi could be 0-10 and still be like super useful to a team fight just because she's got fucking tentacles slapped along like everywhere. You know, it's a broken champ. You know, Aesol fucking scales to the moon, could be 0-10, but as soon as he hits his power spike, he's fucking viable to a team. It's just Aesol. Aesol is just a crazy character, to be completely honest. You know, now his Yorick, he's only played Yorick for like a month, and I think his Yorick is very solid. He has like a 76% win rate. He plays a very solid Yorick, you know, but I don't think his Yorick is enough to boost him up. All he does is split push. That's what Yorick does. You know, I feel like it's not enough to boost him up to a B plus to be on the same like level as like Gi, Adachi or Joel. You know, but I can say that like whenever he does play, he does bring like his own like weight to the game. You know, like when I played versus him top lane, bro, like I was always having to like leave a fight to go top to make sure he wasn't like backdooring into the base. Because as a top laner, he knows what he's got to do. You know, his Aesol mid is just like, it's Aesol. He goes stupid. You know, his Aesol is very good. Like I would definitely rank his Alawi and his Aesol, like definitely I'd personally put his Alawi and Aesol up in like maybe B plus or even A minus if we wanted to be giving A minus, but B plus like being realistic. But I think it's like those three champs. You know, he's played a little bit of AP Twitch, but I can't really like, I feel like my ADC is just better than him, so I can't put him anything. I can't put him at like A anything. Fury on any other champ like Teemo. Yeah, his Teemo is rough. His Teemo is rough. It is a little bit rough. All right, next we got Caleb. Caleb is also, I'd say, B tier. Caleb has good days and he has bad days. On good days, Caleb is definitely B plus. On bad days, Caleb is B. You know, like it's not like he doesn't like he perform like on good days he performs very well. His what's her name? Who's the bitch? You know what I'm talking about, Joel?
Nope.
The little bitch with the knives, and she throws two, and you get caught in between, you get stunned. What's her name?
Aurelia?
Irelia. His Irelia is solid. His Irelia is solid. Like genuinely solid. His Irelia is like A minus A tier, I would say. I would say A minus B plus actually, because I'm being realistic with this whole like thing. He brings like very good mentals to like the team. He keeps everybody, you know, like feeling good and stuff like that. He's a very funny person. You know, he keeps the mentals and like the energy on like the team that he's on very upbeat, and he keeps it like very positive. So I feel like that's like something that like all people need to be able to bring to their team when you're playing a game like League, especially when it's like it's just like skill versus skill nonstop, and then people are getting ganked, you know, so it's not always fair, you know. So I think he brings very good like mentors to the team as a top laner, mid laner. He's very good as a jungler. I think his jungle is honestly B plus. I feel like if he like mained like Belveth or something in the jungle, he'd be like B plus. His jungle is like extremely solid. I'd say like if I had to rate it out of 100, it'd definitely be like an 88. I think it's like almost damn near 100. I think is Belveth. If he mained Belveth, I'd put him definitely at A minus, right below Z, maybe, or even a B plus, right in between Gi and Adachi, I would say, because Gi's fucking jungle is also very solid. But yeah, B plus or B plus. You could do either one. I think he's a very solid player. Who do we got next? That's just fucking man's butt shit. All right. All right. Now we got Tree. Tree is a C plus. Tree is very hit or miss. It the way Tree plays all depends on his mood. You know, he's been playing ADC recently. I haven't really been seeing him play. You said Tree is D plus. Nah. You gotta give respect. His Warwick, like his mechanics as a player are really good. I think his Misfortune is fire as an ADC. I think his Warwick is great as a jungle. Those are really the only two. He's trying Katarina mid. Those are the only two people that I really see him play. I don't feel like his Lux is anything like too crazy. I don't think Lux is really like a skillful player, to be honest. So I can't really like judge him off of like Lux. That'd be like me judging Paul off of his Alawi and Aso, you know. Because if I'm gonna like add in like it doesn't really take a lot of like skill to be good at like Aso, you know. Aso's not really a skill champ. He's just a scaling champ, you know. So I'd say like his jungle and stuff, but like on a bad day, his mentals low key do like suck. He'll be the first to call out if his team is like inting. Even if he's inting, he'll say somebody else is inting as well. You know, he'll be quick to call you out on some bullshit. So I feel like sometimes his mentals aren't the best for a losing team. On a winning team, he's very good at making the other team like agitated with his question marks and shit. He's a troll. But I'd say definitely C plus, could be B minus on a good day, but I have to like do overall the majority of the 5v5s that we played with him, it's been like C plus. So that's where I'd put Tree at. Who else? My boy Psycho. Psycho is fire. He's like a newer character. He's like a new like member to the Discord. He doesn't play too much, and when he played the 5v5s, his mentals were great. He played, who did he play? His Jhin was pretty fire. I can honestly put Psycho at a B minus. Actually, I think I will. I'm changing it. I'm putting Psycho at a B minus. You know, I think his Jhin is extremely consistent as an ADC. And then his jungle as Zac is also extremely consistent. He has like a 77% win rate on his account. Psycho is like, Psycho is genuinely like a solid player. Well-rounded. He's all out a good guy. See, I give him B minus. B minus. Where's Elijah at? I'm putting Elijah at a C plus just because like I remember more so playing with him like maybe like a little bit under a year ago. Back in like 2022, I'd play a lot with Elijah. He didn't play too many people that like showed like a lot of skill. It was like he played his Jhin is very solid. I think he's very knowledgeable on the game. I think he has a lot of game IQ, but I just haven't been able to see enough out of him like in like a competitive space where I can be like, oh yeah, like he's anything higher. But I do think he's like he's got to be good, you know, because he was like part of the reason that Paul and Kai play like a lot of League as well. So, but I'm just giving him the benefit of the doubt. I'm putting him at C plus. There's not really too much that I can say on him because I don't play enough with him to like really know. Um, where's Kato? Actually, nah, I gotta put Kato at a B minus. I'm putting Kato at a B minus because when we played the 5v5s, he's a bronze nigga going up against like plats and golds and silvers, and he did fairly well. He actually beat Killshot 1v1 in the lane, and Killshot is Diamond 4. So he brings very good mentals to his team. Uh, all around stand up guy. I think Kato is like a fire player. When I played with him when I first met him, we got into a game and he was my mid laner and he was just very solid as a mid laner. He didn't use his Zonias at all that game actually, but in the games coming forward, he said that he would improve that, and he did. The next game he started using his Zonias. Very proud of him for seeing a lot of improvement. Kato is like B minus for sure. B minus for sure. All right. Who else? Kai. I'll put Kai as a C plus. Kai is very knowledgeable on the game. I feel like he's more of a macro player than a I don't know what the opposite of a macro player is, but I think Kai is very like macro oriented. You know, his game IQ is probably like honestly his game IQ. I think I could definitely put it up there with like either B or in like a B plus. To be completely honest, Kai is like a very intelligent person. You know, he brings a good actually. Nah, I'm gonna keep him at C plus. You know, he brings a good like egoist. Like like when he comes into a game, he's very confident that he will carry his team 1v5 or like 1v5 because like that's the situation he's been put in elo hell. You know, but I would definitely put Kai as like a C plus. I feel like his mentals could be a lot better. And his outlook on the game as a whole could be a lot better. I feel like if he changed that, he could definitely go up to being like a B minus or even a B along with Caleb. I don't know. I feel like Kai is much better than Tree. No, I would put Kai at the top of the list for C plus. I was just like listing him, but I would definitely put Kai as like the top of the list for C plus. I do think Kai is also better than Tree. Who's next? We got Q. Not a lot of people have played with Q a lot. She was like my duo back when I first started in like Iron. When I was in Iron, she was my duo. She was a good support in Bronze. She started like drifting away to like jungle or whatever. I don't really know what she does now because we haven't played in a minute. D plus. What's that?
Oh, fun. It's like a little thingy.
Yeah, no, I mean
It's cool as fuck. Oh, I'm next.
I'm trying to see where the food is though. Okay. But yeah, I put her at like a D plus. You know, I just really like wasn't anything crazy. It's like wow, this person's like the greatest support ever. You know, like it was just like very she's all right. Let's see, who's next? Oh yeah, you are next. Putting Lily as a D plus because she hasn't really played the game for that much like time. The majority of her time has been spent playing in bronze, and I mean not bronze, her playing ranked. And for a new player to just strictly play ranked and like you know do pretty well, she's on like the same line that I was. You know, she's Iron 2 right now, but she's climbing. You know, I feel like for the 8 out of the 8 players that she does play, I feel like if she played more characters, she would definitely get a feel for the game better, and she'd be a lot better as a player. So I feel like there's a lot of room for improvement for Lily. You know, she just doesn't really put in that type of work to get better. It's not really like on her agenda to be like, oh, like the best in the Discord or whatever. But just like nothing wrong with that. You know, like it's just she's just here to play. You know, enjoy herself. But she does fairly good in the 5v5s now. She does better. I feel like there's a lot of downplaying her as a player. You know, I feel like she's like for what she knows, she's a very good ADC, or not very good. She's like a very okay ADC, and I feel like you know she doesn't int anymore either. So I feel like that makes her like I could put her definitely like C minus D plus. You know, I think I will put her C minus because I do think personally that she's better than Q. So I will put her at a C minus. Cotton, I had him originally at a D, but I'm gonna bump Cotton up to a D plus. I feel like he's actually probably on the same level as Q when it comes to being like a support. It's his support is nothing like too crazy. I feel like he makes like a lot of mistakes being he's played the game longer, so I can be a little bit not harsher, but I can be a little bit more like real with him. Cotton is like he overextends a lot. He overextends a lot in the bot lane from what I know playing with him, because I played with Cotton like a good amount. He overextends a lot as a support against better people. He just ints a lot. You know, he has a lot of room to improve. You know, he's been playing the game for a little bit longer, so I feel like there's just a little bit of like there's certain areas that he needs to focus on where he can get better. You know, just like if he keeps in like mind, like in the back of his mind, like, hey, like don't die in these situations. You know, even if you gotta play like a bitch, it's better to like, you know, not int than to int 10 kills, you know. So I would definitely put him at a D plus. If he worked on certain areas, I feel like he could definitely be bumped up to a C minus, maybe even a C. But yeah, D plus 100%. Who is this guy? This is Ganja. Ganja is the support, right? I'd put Ganja also C plus. Actually, Ganja's C plus. I put Ganja as a C plus. He plays support. I don't really play too much with Ganja to really know like how good he is. But from the games that I have played in his 5v5, he was a very solid support for Jordan. I think he's a solid like support all around. You know, I just haven't played enough to like really collect that much information on him. So that's that. All right, we got this guy. I'm not gonna say his name because I'm gonna post this video on YouTube, but we'll call him John Ortiz. I'm gonna put him at an F, just because of from what I've experienced with him. So I've played maybe in total about 4 games with this guy. So the first game that I played with him, I was his jungle and he was my support. He was Pantheon support. He entered that game. He was like 3-7, but he was a pretty cool guy. He came into my chat. He followed me and stuff. He was cool. His name is very questionable. Like I said, I'm not gonna say it on stream, but very questionable. Second game that we played, I was his support and he was my ADC. He went in with the wrong runes as Neela. He took Smite and he entered that game, and I had to carry as the support as Pantheon. So that was our second game. Our third game we played in the 5v5s, and he was our jungle, and he was just straight inting. He did not get a single objective. He was just getting outclassed in every way. And you know, like him and Kato are the same, you know, the same like rank or whatever. Kato just plays way more consistently. You know, it shows on his rank. He's like, you know, bronze 2 nearing on to bronze 1, while this guy's stuck in bronze 4. So I would give him strictly an F. Now, this is where we get a little bit spicy. Where do I put myself on the list? Now, I have 2 answers. That's why I had a very in-depth conversation with Lily last night. You know, if I want to be realistic, you know, this is like the nicer side of me. I want to give people the respect that they deserve. You know, I would put myself right here at the B tier, right? Maybe right under Paul, you know, right where like, you know, David, Caleb, you know, I feel like I bring enough weight to like to certain games, you know, especially as my
never mind.
As my ADC, you know, I feel like my ADC is pretty solid. You know, as like a Samir, I feel like I'm able to change the tides a little bit of certain games. I feel like my jungle as Viego is very solid as well. I would not put my jungle on par with like Guy or like fucking Jordan or anything like that. You know, like I said, I'm gonna give the respect that people deserve. Now, if I want to be disrespectful and put myself where I genuinely think that I am, I would put myself right here under A minus. Now listen, and this is my reasoning why I think I'd put myself as an A minus. So I have played this game aside from Lily, like the least amount of time of all these people. Well, from the people that I know. I don't know how long Kato's been playing. I don't know how long fucking John Ortiz been playing. UFC Logic, you're above Ong since you soloed him. See, that I want to give the respect that people deserve, you know, because I have to respect Ong as a player, even though I did 1v1 him and I beat him a couple times. The record is still like 50 to like 6, you know, like, but I am able to go, like, after that night we've been 1v1ing my Fiora. I played Fiora against him on a couple characters, and you know, I was actually doing pretty solidly against players that he actually knows. He was playing Zed and I beat his Zed, I beat his Poppy, I beat a couple people, you know, so I feel like that's me being like becoming better as a player. There's not a lot of people on this Discord that can 1v1 Ong and come out on top, you know. Actually, none of these people are like I'm thinking from the B tier and below. None of these people are beating Ong in a 1v1. Like, sadly, I just don't see that happening, you know. B plus, I don't know how. I don't think Adachi's beating him 1v1. I don't think he's beating Ong 1v1. I don't know about Jackson because I haven't played with him too much. So I don't know who else he plays. Joel, you think you're beating Ong 1v1?
I have.
So we're putting
Yeah,
Joel
but-
now up at A minus. So with this B plus, I don't know how many people are really like going back to back with
You
Ong.
were in the Discord. We were doing 1v1s.
Was I?
Yes, when we were doing 1v1s. Yeah.
I don't remember that. I don't know why.
I was like, feels like a year ago.
Shit, a year ago, I do not remember that shit. But I'm not gonna say that I'm better than Joel, because I will put respect on the OGs. I would not say that I'm better than Joel. I'd say I'm better than David. Sorry, David. You know, I just feel like I got that dog in me. You know, I feel like you don't got that dog in you. You know, maybe a kid will bring that dog out of you. You know, me personally, David.
Same. I think you're better than David too.
So, you see, David. But hey,
No, that's it. Come on, he'd say that no matter what.
I think, hey, I think that's just a realistic answer. You know, me personally, I think I am better than David. David, we can 1v1 if you want. I feel like I shit on you personally. I feel like I got that dog in me. You don't got that dog in you. But that's no disrespect. You know, I think it's all friendly. But yeah, personally, I'd put myself around the A tier, because I feel like mechanically wise, you know, against all these people, like, I feel like I'm holding my own personally. I feel like there's a lot of room for me to improve as far as like my game knowledge. Like, I still really don't know all that much about the game. Like, there's still a lot of characters who I don't know, who I haven't played, you know, who I don't know how like they work, and etc. So I don't really know all the matchups and stuff like that. But I feel like over the time that I've played this game, I've improved so much, and I feel like the sky's just the limit for me. Personally, I see myself like maybe in like a year or two being plat, maybe even diamond. Unfortunately, other people don't think the same way, but look, I'm a realist. I'm a grinder. Every game that I've ever played, I've always been high elo, and I think that I could honestly be high elo in this game. I just have to play against more high elo people, and then I'll personally get better. You know, so that's me. That's where I'm coming from. I think it can be interchangeable with my A minus going to a B. You know, but yeah, this is my little. I'm gonna click on this X. This is my little tier list for the Discord. This is just man's butt. Man's butt is fucking